I'd like to talk about Twin River for a moment. With the acquisition of Newport Grand, Twin River effectively has a monopoly on gaming here in New England, and as a result, a significant market advantage in terms of pursuing the consumer dollar. So they've got a monopoly. They've got the ability to have smoking on premise. They receive millions of dollars in marketing subsidies directly from, in many cases, the businesses that they're competing with for that said economic dollar. They were able to then give them permission to build a hotel despite the initial concerns about that. Now we've enabled a sports book and now a mobile sports book despite constitutional concerns. With regard to COVID, as of a week or so ago, now they're able to go 24 hours a day I understand that their Blackstone bar till 2 o'clock in the morning. At what point does the state of Rhode Island stop weaponizing their private-public partnerships in the terms of monopolies against the Rhode Island business community? We all know, every week we have a conversation how the entertainment and the hospitality industry in the state is crippled. And yet the state itself is essentially some of the biggest competition now for that limited consumer dollar. Where's the fairness?
So Twin River, as you know, was essentially closed for months, which is, of course, a big hit to the state's revenue and something we'll have to dig out of the hole of. But they don't have a monopoly in New England, as you mentioned. I mean, in fact, if anything, there's facing a lot of competition from nearby Massachusetts and Foxwoods in Connecticut. So I don't think that it is, as you say, a monopoly or weaponizing that facility.
No Rhode Island.
It is unique. We have a state-owned lottery. That's a unique system in Rhode Island. It's been a pretty good partnership for Rhode Island. We haven't had, I will say that they have been really great to work with during COVID. When we asked them to shut down, they shut down immediately. They stayed closed for months. They opened with just a toe in the water. We haven't had any issues with, compliance or spread of cases. And by the way, if we did, we'd have to shut them down again. So, they're operating their business, and it's the third largest revenue in the state. And so it's in all of our interest that they are successful. And also their rules that the rules for them are the same as the rules for, the restaurants there have to abide by the same restaurants not at Twin River.
I'm not questioning their corporate responsibility at all, nor the legality they operate within the rules of COVID. But at the same time, the state has granted them concessions, if you will, to operate that are impossible to get if you're a private business. And one only needs to see the sort of destruction in restaurants and entertainment facilities in that area to see that they represent a huge drain on the Rhode Island economy.
Well, as I say, they're the third largest source of revenue for Rhode Island, and we share substantially in their revenue and their profits, unlike any other business. So it's an arrangement that the state made decades ago that, by and large, I think has accrued to Rhode Island's benefit.
Well, in closing, I think, without editorializing, what can we do then to expand or begin to re-expand the hours of ordinary businesses so they have a chance to compete against with monolith here in Rhode Island?
That's something that we will look at. We are going to continue to try to expand. It's a balance. I wish I could reopen every business tomorrow. Truthfully, that would be my desire. But we can't because then we would have too many. We'd go right back up the curve again. So I assure you that I am looking every week at the numbers, trying to push forward to a further reopening every time we can. Today was a baby step with the 8 feet to 6 feet. And we're going to continue to go down that path.